Give it up for Chris, the CaliforIOWAN! Bringing it to you live in the real. Let's hear it for Gerard! He holds it down so we don't have to. We appreciate that. Thank you, Gerard.
No, I was just going to say thank you for your
Also,
feedback.
my mom's birthday is Valentine's Day. Yeah, can I get a happy birthday, Mom? She watches these things. I'm taping it right now. She loves me. Thank you. That buys me 364 more days. I'm the good son. Yeah, I'm Chris, the CaliforIOWAN. I live in California, so I'm Californian. I'm from Iowa, so I'm Iowan. I'm going to take us back to when I was just a little teeny tiny youth. When I was Chris, the Iowan. I was born into this world. Just like that. It was like smoke grenade. Flash bang, here I am. Talking like a 34-year-old who's been smoking for half of his life. Appreciate the energy. I came out and immediately my older brother, 5 years older, knew that he had an advantage and he did not want to give it up. And literally at night, I mean, they say our first memories at like, I don't know, age 3 or 4, maybe. Bullshitters will say that. You know, I maybe remember age 5. But I remember when I was an infant, he came into my room. Now this was true, because my parents told me this. He would come in my room and he's like, I hate you, baby. I hate you, baby. I hate you, baby. I hate you, baby. Damn, I knew my future was bright. He knew it too. He's like, I gotta snuff this little guy out before he gets too big. I got like 50 pounds on him now, so he's paying for it. But that's where we're gonna go through how he dealt it out. The 5-year advantage. Oh, I felt the wrath of my older brother. So not only did he chant, I hate you, baby, but on video, so he's old enough, I'm old enough to where like VHS was like commonly held by like, my parents are teachers in Iowa. You're not expecting them to get VHS first. Like the camcorder and whatnot, the one that's like a boom box on your shoulder. But by the time I was born, they had it. And so, we're playing with Lincoln Logs. Who here's played with Lincoln Logs? Oh, that's way more than I thought. Hell yeah, Lincoln Log crowd, let's go. Yeah. Oh man, remember the long one? Like you really had to know what you're doing with that long one, right? Because you're like, oh shit, what, like, you had to at least have 3 more, and then you had to fight over it, right? My brother didn't like me having the long one, and so I had one, he's like, oh, I'll show you how to use this one. And he just starts hitting me in the head. And here's my dad. Just like, I mean, he was about my age now when he had me, so I get it. I now get it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let that shit roll too for at least a moment, you know? Let me see if he's got a little fight in him. 5 years though is not an age difference you can make up when you're like 3. So, doling it out also when not on the camcorder. My brother was like, we were out in the front yard, we had a little hand hose, like, you know, you can like dig the dirt with, like what gardeners use so you can like pot soil and shit. And we're chopping dandelions. It was fun, you know, like little kid shit. And he's like, Chris, I got a great idea. And I'm like, sure, what's up? He's like, we should chop this dandelion and it looks really cool when you get up close. And I'm like, nah, you're older, but I'm smarter. Already at that age, I was like, no, I'm not interested. He literally forced me with my head, and then he takes and chops the dandelion and follows through, giving me a concussion. Savage. Y'all use the word savage? That's actually savage. So, Next time you say savage, be like, you gotta really up your game if you're using savage. Don't just like pilfer it. It's a good word too, I like it, but it's a couple years beyond. So really make sure you mean it. So, growing up, even more so later on, he had this sick way, just like on camcorder with my dad. He probably knew that my dad would go with it a little bit. And so we're out in the yard, and my backyard was a field. My neighbors had cows, and I lived in town. So raise your hand if you've had that experience. Exactly what I thought. Yeah, one time one of the cows got over the fence and pooped. And I was like age 3, like, you know, I was smart enough to, like, here's like the CaliforIOWAN idiom. It's like, I'm really smart on these things, but I'm really fucking dumb on these other ones. And he's like, oh, Chris, remember that Lincoln log I hit you with? It's in this pile of... He didn't really say what it was, and I'm like, oh, it's just down there. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, what? He pushed me into it. Yeah, pushed me into a pile of cow poop. For real. And so later on, as I'm getting older, I actually got really angry at him. I'm the type, if I get really angry, I'll like go crazy. I threw an iron at him and I hit him. And he's like, he kind of started respecting me from that day on. And we had both been collecting football cards at that point in time, and he kind of saw the light and was like, hey, I think we should combine card collections. You know, it'd be better for both of us. And I had good cards too, so it's not like, I was like, all right, yeah, let's do this. I don't want to get my ass kicked. And later on, he ends up like, you know, gaining a conscience. Like, as he reflected on what he had done to me, he offered up reparations. Back when $100, when I got $3 a week allowance, it was like $100 he offered up to me. He's like, hey man, I feel really bad about what I did to you. Can I give you $100? And I'm like, so I'm gonna not get my ass beat. And I'm getting $100? Yeah, sign me up, let's go. And so, blistering through here real super quick, the moral of the story is, make sure you pay it down to your next sibling a lot less. And so I did that to my sister, but she came away with a couple PTSDs. And one of them, she's trash. I love my sister, but she's trash. And I gotta make sure everyone knows that she's trash. She's awesome, but she's trash. And that's one of the things. I gotta just like, yeah, you're the best person ever, but you're still trash. Oh, look at your face. It looks like a turd. You know, like, hey, you need to stop being like all acting up. I'm gonna pull your big toe. And that was like how I kept her under control. Instead of beating her, if my brother beat me, I would just pull her big toe. And then when I got a conscience, eventually she was like, I didn't realize I was faking, like I was going for it. And then I got my conscience, and she just stopped wearing sandals. And she didn't do, and I didn't make it till age 30, and like, this was still a thing. I'm like, wait, you're still freaking out from, yeah, you pulled my big toe. Don't pull your little sister's big toe, everybody. Love your family. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it all. Jostling progressively. And keep the good vibes going.